If you've ever wanted to know how to make glitter and epoxy tumblers, but you have no idea where to start, keep on watching. I'm Alex with DIY Alex.
And I'm Kate with Kate Boyle Crafts.
And we are collaborating to bring you a magical series on DIY epoxy tumblers start to finish.
Collectively, we have over 3 whopping years of experience of doing epoxy tumblers and other epoxy crafts.
Yeah, we do. So we're going to show you a series to answer all of your basic questions. So we're going to start with how to prep a tumbler. Then we're going to show you 2 different ways to glitter a tumbler. Then we're going to make a great video that answers all your questions on how to epoxy a tumbler, followed by how to finish a tumbler and clean it up so that it looks pretty and perfect to send away to customers or to give as a gift.
Next up is how to finish up your tumbler.
All right, Crafty fam, we are back with our very last step for epoxy tumblers, and that is to clean it up. I think this is a really, really important step because after you are finished with a tumbler, you are often going to have spray paint and other things inside the tumbler. You may even have epoxy or glitter, and so it's really important to do this final step and clean things up, because if you are giving this as a gift or to a customer, you want to make sure that they receive it and they can actually safely drink out of it, because you don't want people ingesting chemicals like epoxy or ingesting glitter or things like that. So the first step is to remove any epoxy off the rim using an exacto knife. That's usually the best way to scrape it out, but of course you want to make sure that you're being super safe about that. So you don't want to hold it close to you. You want to lay it down on a table, and you're basically just going to run the edge of your knife around the edge of your rim and get out any large or small epoxy pieces that may have gotten into the cup while epoxying your rim. Katie did a beautiful job on this one, so there's not very much epoxy to get out, but especially when you're new, you may have really large globs. So after you've gotten the epoxy out of the cup, the next step is to remove any paint or anything else left in the cup using acetone and or alcohol. Now, I have found that using actual acetone from the hardware store is a better option than something as simple as nail polish remover. And the reason is because typically nail polish remover is not purely acetone. So if that's all you have, that is certainly something that will work. However, if you really want to be a little bit more efficient and not scrub so hard, you want to buy real acetone. And I bought a quart of acetone at Lowe's for like $7.98, so it's not terribly expensive, and if you're going to be doing a lot of tumblers, it is well worth it.
And you don't need a whole lot, so this big jug will last you a really long time.
Yes, agreed. It really doesn't take very much, especially if you're using something more powerful. Now, if you're using regular nail polish remover, you may have to scrub quite a bit to get rid of any paint or glitter or whatever else may be left. So I'm just using cotton pads once again. And I'm just going to lightly soak. But before I use this acetone, I do want to let you guys know that acetone is a really heavy-duty another chemical to use. So I apologize if there's any background noise, but I currently have my ceiling fan going and my window is open to ventilate the room as well as possible. This is another one that you want to be really cautious around children and pets and acetone. Just be really, really careful when you're using it. So I'm just putting a little bit on a cotton pad, just like I would with nail polish remover. So then as you tilt your cup, you just want to run your cotton pads along the inside of your rim. You want to take care not to get too much of that on your regular epoxy on the outside, because acetone can eat away at regular epoxy. This is the area that hasn't been cleaned with acetone yet, and the rest of the cup has. So you can see what a difference it makes once you start cleaning it up. It really does look so much more professional and so much more like something you'd want to receive. Once the spray paint, epoxy, and glitter are out of the cup, the last step would be hand washing.
Yes, and I very much recommend doing a cold hand wash. This is because, especially if your tumbler has only been turning for about 8 to 12 hours, you know, that epoxy really technically takes about 3 days to completely cure. So doing it in cold water decreases your risk of that epoxy kind of reactivating. I did once wash a tumbler right after it was completed in hot water, and whenever I went to wipe it off with my paper towel, the paper towel stuck to my epoxy because it had reactivated. So I have now switched to a cold wash, and then if you want to go back after a couple days before sending off or delivering your tumbler, you should be able to do a hot wash before sending it out. But washing is very essential to this because, especially since you use such a strong chemical like acetone, you're going to want to make sure that you have washed that completely. It's not like a quick rinse. You want to make sure you wash it really, really well.
Absolutely. I completely agree. So after you're finished cleaning it up, including your hand wash, you are ready to go. Your tumbler is complete from start to finish. We hope we showed you what to do, and now you understand all the steps, but make sure that you leave any questions that you may have in the comments for us so that we can answer them for you.
All right, and it has been wonderful hanging out with you guys on DIY Alex, and I hope that we will be able to do more collaborations in the future.
Make sure that you guys go check out Kate Boyle Crafts. That's Katie's channel for all of her amazing tumbler crafts she's going to do. She is super knowledgeable and experienced in this, and so she is going to teach you guys some really, really awesome stuff.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up.
And if you learned something in this video, be sure to tell us what you learned down below in the comments.
Definitely. And if you want to see more epoxy and glitter crafts, make sure that you subscribe to both Kate Boyle Crafts and DIY Alex. We'll definitely link the other channel in the description below.
We'll see you in the next episode.
That's a wrap.